Hello everyone, how you going? Welcome back to Oddly Satisfying. Now we all know why we're here, we just want to be satisfied, and really this is just a place to come. But anyway, let's see what we've got. So then start right off with, the way this gelato is packaged is mesmerizing. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, this is just going to be some factories, and I was wondering if it was someone actually controlling it, but no. Wow, to be honest, if you ask me, I wouldn't even say that that is gelato. That looks some kind of, I don't know, just caramel whip. I don't really know what it would be, but it certainly doesn't look like ice cream, especially because ice cream is generally not that liquid. I mean, I guess it has to be liquid at some stage, but really to be able to get that swirl, that is pretty impressive. But to be honest, even though it is a very good individual thing, I would love it if the clip just looped perfectly, because that is when things are just taken to the next level of satisfying. And really, I feel as though with something like this, it could have so easily been done. It just needed a little bit more effort to hold the camera still, and so I'm a little bit disappointed by that means. But I guess in saying that, I do have to give it to the people that think this stuff up, because really, the mechatronics behind all of this, just to be able to make a machine that just kind of perfectly does this every single time, repeats it over and over and over again a million times without fail, is honestly a pretty satisfying thought when you think about all the time and energy that went into making something that satisfying from the start, because it's not even like they get to design the machine around what they want to do. No, they have to go, okay, we want a swirl, how the hell am I going to do this? Well, there you go, there is your satisfying video for you. And so really, I can only assume that there are so many factories all around the world that just have machines like this, or really not even machines like this, just any kind of machines that just pump out stuff that are always satisfying. Whatever it is exactly, I've certainly never seen it presented like that. Like, why would you actually not want to mix them around? I mean, I guess it is kind of a little bit visually appetizing, but at the same time, I've never seen three like that, because you're just going to end up having to mix them anyway. And so even though I was just praising the absolute brilliance of the design of this entire thing, at the same time, I don't really understand why they actually want to be doing it this way. It just doesn't really seem as though anyone would actually buy it. I mean, I guess obviously they do, but it doesn't really make sense as to why you'd buy that as gelato. Surely you want one flavor, or really if you don't, then buy three. But hey, I guess I'm just completely overthinking it. Really, all it comes down to is the fact that this is just a gelato being packaged, and there is no two ways about it. It is definitely a satisfying spiral. A string shooter. What kind of a string shooter are we looking at? I was actually expecting like string in a can, but no. Oh, there we go. Whoa, and even the fact that you can move it around, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense considering physics and all, but no, that is incredible. Just the fact that you are able to move it and the entire ring just stays the entire time. Yeah, give me multiple ones of those. I mean, also, I would love to see just a massive one, like just the size of a bridge, just absolutely spinning this huge cable around. That would be awesome to see in a massive art installation or something. But either way, the fact that this guy just made a very, very simple thing that just works that well, oh, that has just been well done, and almost like a DIY kind of thing, but it actually don't need a why because it just makes sense. And he even just says that it's a prototype, really, and that doesn't look like a prototype anymore. That just looks like it works very well, or better than it needs to. Honestly, the fact that you can just wave it around and it follows the entire time as though you're some just incredible gymnast waving your ribbon around, I feel as though that works pretty well. But no, it has been done so well, and honestly, I feel as though I just want to see it with a rainbow ribbon so you can actually see how fast it's actually spinning around, because you have no sense of scale about how fast it's going. I mean, obviously the sound of the motors definitely tells you that it's running, but you know, they're tiny little motors. They definitely make a high-pitched scream, and so you can't tell how fast they're spinning, let alone just how fast around the string is going. But no, to be honest, I just have so many questions. How do you come up with the length of the string? How do you come up with the idea in the first place? How do you get all the bits together? I mean, that's probably actually the easiest part. It's only like an 18650 battery and then a couple of little motors or something like that. But really, like I said, just where do they come up with the idea with this? I mean, I'm not complaining in the slightest, because I certainly feel as though this is the kind of invention that the world needs at the moment. I mean, some people might see it as completely useless, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel as though anything that can give just a 10 seconds of joy to this world is definitely worthwhile when it's that simple to make. And to be honest, I feel as though if these kind of things were just mass shipped out to the public, I feel as though you'd suddenly just have a kind of a community like the yo-yo community, where you just have people doing random tricks and just all these funky patterns would just emerge that you go, wow, I didn't even think that was possible. But I'm absolutely positive if these kind of things got shipped out to people in lockdown just all over the world, then I swear you would just start seeing some insane things. People, I'm sure, would actually kind of customize them themselves, make them even better. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that one, because that one definitely works, but you know, just when you get the entire collective mind of the world, some very strange and awesome things can happen. And hey, to be honest, I feel as though this is the kind of thing that would actually come from a lockdown. Like someone has gone, I don't know what I'm going to be doing with all my time, but hey, if I can make something satisfying or something that passes the time, then that is certainly going to be helpful. And to be honest, I feel as though if anything in the world embodies that entire idea, that is it right there. Time lapse of me cleaning my depressing room. Whoa, alrighty then, look at the amount of clothes on this. So wow, I'm glad they're going to have a time lapse of it getting cleaned up. That is crazy. Look at this person just going absolutely crazy. Man, it just has to feel so good. You're getting your carpet back as well. Like, just suddenly you feel as though you have so much space, so much time, so much energy again. Honestly, it is just so incredible how doing something like this can just change your entire positivity and outlook and everything. Taking it from this room to that room in a matter of, what, I guess 30 seconds for us was pretty darn incredible for the fact that that is the same room. And it isn't even like they got it restarted or they got new furniture or anything like that. They literally just took everything that was kind of in the way and just moved it out of the way. And so yeah, it is absolutely random applause for this person for just kind of getting up and just getting to it. You know, it might take a little bit of work to kind of keep it that way, but it is so worth it if you can do it. Like, just look, like I said, the amount of space, and you just feel so much better about the entire thing. Let alone the fact that you probably found few things. He went, oh, that's where that is. And you're going, I've been looking for that, but I have no idea where it is. But now you figured out where it was and you go, yes, now I've got that thing back that I've been looking for. I've got my entire room back as well. Because really, as well as it just being a very satisfying experience for all parties involved, at the same time, it's just so therapeutic to be able to go, yes, I actually did that thing and I'm so proud of yourself at the same time. So yeah, it's just honestly incredible how something relatively so simple can just completely change your life. And even though I'm definitely a sucker for a time lapse, you know, if you check out my other channel, my main channel, then I have plenty of time lapses on there, but I have to admit that this one has been done well, has been paced correctly. You know, the amount of time to kind of showcase what you've done is perfect. We get to see the entire process, and so yeah, just well done with that as well. And so look, for me, it's just everything about this video is just satisfying. The fact that there's a time lapse, that's definitely a tick, but also the fact that I can just feel, or hopefully I can feel this kind of satisfaction that this person got from actually just doing this. They finally knuckled down and they went, you know what, stop it, I'm actually going to do it, and I just hope they felt better for it. When the pool steps get slightly off color. Wait, hang on a second, that is not slightly off color, that is way more than slightly. But alright then, I just want to sit back and enjoy this video. You can even see there was a little splotch there where they've actually tested it. I can only assume that it's some kind of vinegar mixture or something like that. Oh, bringing out the brush as well. I mean, I also would have loved to see it being power washed, but at the same time, I can only assume that the vinegar mixture obviously works quite well. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what you're going to be doing with all that water. I mean, I guess you can probably pump it out, and it looks like there might be kind of a submersible pump in the bottom of the pool. But no, the fact that they've managed to regain those steps, just get rid of that green. Honestly, it is such a vibrant green that I wouldn't have expected it to be, well, mold or whatever it is. And so in a very weird way, I almost feel as though this one is kind of along the same vein as the last one, you know, which just have people just cleaning up their mess. I mean, I certainly don't envy this person, because I can only imagine if that's what the steps are like, the rest of the pool is probably going to be like that. I mean, I don't really know why the walls aren't the same, because really, if it has gotten to that much green, I can only assume the whole pool's going to have a serious problem to deal with. But either way, I do have to commend them on their work, because it comes up an absolute treat, and really, I'm sure that someone's going to be having a very nice time in their pool the next time they get to use it. But to be honest, whenever I see these kind of videos, it just makes me think about how much easier it must be to kind of keep the pool in just a good condition, you know, especially over the winter. They don't require that much maintenance because the sun and all those kind of things is not trying to grow all this mold. People aren't generally in it. And so especially when you see something like this and just all the effort, I mean, I guess it might not be that difficult, but even the fact that you got to do the vinegar and the brush and all that kind of stuff, really, if you can afford to do it, I feel as though it's definitely going to be better to kind of keep the pool in working order. Besides the fact that it's definitely just going to be looking nice all year round, regardless of whether you're in it or not, you know, you just don't have a massive green kind of sludge pool just sitting in your backyard. I mean, I guess if you do want to go through all the effort every single time because you like the satisfaction of doing it, then that is definitely a good enough response from me. You know, you might save a couple of dollars by doing it this method instead of just maintaining it year round. I mean, I guess in saying that though, if you are draining all the water and then re-putting all the water back, then that is a tremendous waste of water for one. But secondly, I just can't see how that would be more cost effective than just kind of chucking a bag of chlorine in or whatever you want to do for the winter. And so look, I guess as satisfying as this video is, and as much as we can kind of applaud this person for doing a really good job of getting it back to scratch, at the same time, it does make me question why this pool has even got to that stage in the first place. But hey, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is definitely a satisfying video from the fact that it just comes up so clean, and also just even how kind of frothy the foam gets, or the vinegar or whatever it is. So either way, it's a great video, and honestly, I can't be too surprised because, like I said, it is quite similar to power washing and it gets the same results, but it definitely is just satisfying. Splash and rainbow. Oh, I don't know if we've seen this video before on this sub or where, but I've definitely seen it before. Let's just wait for this log. Ah, there we go, just parting the sea beautifully. Oh, just is so good, honestly. And now we just get to wait for the rainbow. There it is, just perfectly done. Ah, it doesn't get much more satisfying than that, does it? Just perfect slow-mo footage, a rainbow, a little bit of a splash. I guess that's exactly what the title said it was, and it just absolutely delivered. And honestly, even just kind of, I don't know what to call it besides the splash wave, maybe the bow wave would be the best way to put it, but it's just the entire thing looks so good. And really all of that just from a very, in a way, just a very simple process. You know, you just basically chucked a massive stick into the water. And so yeah, I do have to commend this person on choosing to film this, because it could very easily have happened but no one have filmed it, and then we just wouldn't be satisfied. It would have been such a bummer, but no, we actually get to experience the rainbow, the fall, the splash, just everything about it. I mean, I guess it is kind of similar to when you see a boat get launched and just this massive amount of water just gets suddenly displaced and it just goes this huge wave, and really it is a very similar thing. I mean, obviously the tree isn't as big as a massive cruise boat, but either way, I have to give it to the tree. It fell beautifully in slow-mo, it splashed beautifully in slow-mo, created a beautiful wave in slow-mo, and then it created a rainbow, just kind of top it all off as well, and really the entire thing is just perfect. And I guess thinking about it, that does mean that some credit has to go to the person that actually chopped it down, because they forced it to go that direction perfectly and they timed the entire thing, whether or not that's the person that actually filmed it as well. Either way, all of the circumstances have come together to be able to do this. Like, you know, they even took the time to kind of get rid of all the branches and everything just to make sure that it's an actual log hitting and slapping the water. Cubic window during different times of day. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. I mean, I guess the title described it, but at the same time, it just looks fake. It looks as though it's just been photoshopped. I mean, in saying that, I can't exactly get past the fact that it isn't 100% satisfying because, well, I don't really know what to call it, but the joints don't line up with the corners of the cube. I mean, I can only assume that's because there's a little bit of depth depth to the wool, but at the same time, it would have been so much better if it actually just got lined up perfectly from all angles, you know, no matter what perspective you stand on, it just lines up perfectly. But no, either way, the photos are still very, very nice. And to be honest, when you do look at it as a singular image, it kind of just reminds me of, what is it? Actually, I know what it is. There we go. That is exactly what it reminds me of. Don't you think that the similarity between these two is pretty kind of common there? I mean, I certainly don't mean that it's been done on purpose, but it is a very, very similar kind of concept, or even just to the eyes. But no, in saying that, they also got 4 very nice images. I feel as though I do love the bottom 2 more than the top 2 just because there's a little bit more going on. But then again, I guess they have managed to capture 4 unique frames of this entire thing. I mean, I guess the cube only has 3 frames, even though it's a 6-sided thing. They really are unique, and I guess that is exactly what the designer or whoever designed this actually intended it for it to be. You know, you can just look up through the cube and just go, huh, that's a pretty cool thing. You're like, and most people don't actually have a kind of a skylight connected to the glass walls. But obviously this person knew exactly where the sun was going to set and the moon was going to rise, and just managed to absolutely nail it. And even though this person has managed to kind of capture the essence of the entire 4 seasons, or whatever you want to call this, at the same time, I feel as though a video would have been so much better, especially because I can only imagine that the cube would change perspectives as you walk around it. I mean, maybe that actually does explain why the joints don't perfectly line up to the corners, because then you actually get a little bit of a perspective shift. But either way, I just would have absolutely loved just a perfect symmetrical just tracking shot just round the cube, just showing the entire thing. That would have been absolutely awesome. So even though I am asking for a lot here, I'd just love to see that, and I feel as though it's the least they can do, considering they didn't even manage, or weren't even bothered to kind of line up perfectly these 4 photos in the first place. And so hey, let me know if you feel the same way, or maybe you just think I'm crazy, but either way, just let me know which one is your favorite, because either way it might be good here, or maybe you just actually prefer a sunset, a sunrise, or a moonrise. And so now finally, for the top of the one for oddly satisfying, we have Get a Siberian Husky. They said it would be fun, they said. Oh, look at what this is going to be. I even saw before they started playing. Yep, that is the kind of stuff. Wow, look at the amount of fur. What the hell? I can only imagine this is going into summer and that's a winter coat, but at the same time, I mean, I guess it just might be a Siberian Husky kind of thing. But no, that absolutely seems as though it's the only way to be able to do that, just with an inverted, I don't know, I guess it's a vacuum cleaner, because there is no way you'd be able to get all that out with a brush. It just keeps coming. I mean, obviously they're doing the whole dog, but just the amount. Surely that dog is going to be bald by the end, but really you would just be able to see that it could probably survive in -20 instead of -40 degrees now. But no, that is just so good. I can only assume that it'd be very, very satisfying to do as well. And to be honest, I feel as though the dog would get the most satisfaction out of anyone, regardless of whether it's oddly satisfying or just downright just cool. And hey, look, I guess if it doesn't have to go in your house and it just gets to go out into the wild, that certainly just sounds like everyone is satisfied in that department. You don't have to worry about cleaning it up. You don't have to do anything like that. The dog gets a groom. Everyone's happy. It truly is just an absolutely satisfying thing to witness, let alone actually do. And so yeah, I would actually love to have a go to see this massive just ball of fluff to suddenly fly out. And really, I just want to know how often these people have to do this, because maybe, like I said, it's every winter, or perhaps considering they said get a Siberian Husky, it'll be fun, they said. I feel as though it might have to be a little bit more common than that. And hey, look, that is certainly not the dog's fault in the slightest. It's basically just a snow wolf, and so you can't blame it for having a lot of fur. But no, you can just see that that dog is absolutely loving it, even though the fact that it gets a little bit of its own fur just caught in its nose. Really, I guess not a little bit amount, it's just a massive ball. But in the scheme of things, it is such a tiny amount of fur, and really it's just incredible. It's almost like a seal's fur. The amount of fur that it's able to lose and not look bald is incredible. And so yeah, what can I say? I can definitely understand why this is top of the one for oddly satisfying, because it has a dog in it. That's just a massive tick on its own, let alone the fact that it's just so satisfying and honestly incredible to see how much fur actually comes out of that Siberian Husky. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the one for oddly satisfying. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below. Let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure to check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.